Kia ora, New Zealand. Welcome to Sweet Chain Live. My name's Matt Drake. This is episode 97. 97, and it's Christmas time. Brady, it is 3 days before Christmas. 'Twas the Thursday before Christmas. How are you feeling about it all? And good evening.
Good evening. I'm feeling all right, I guess. I'm still getting used to summer Christmases. Got
weird, eh?
Around Wellington, the Pahudakawa, the Kiwi Christmas tree is in full bloom, which is nice. I have some Pahudakawa around the flat, the house I'm staying in for the holidays. So yeah, it's good. Hopefully the weather will break and we'll get out some sunshine and play some disc golf this holidays.
Yeah, I mean it's been all right. Well, I don't know. Has it been all right recently? I guess I have to apologize. I have to apologize. I have to apologize. First up, last week, I couldn't make the show as was evident, and something happened. I'll talk you through it briefly. Just before the show last week, in the kind of lead up when we start getting the guests into the green room and me and Brady are chatting before the show, etc. I felt very ill. I had some chest pains and some stomach pains, and I thought this is odd. So I had to go for a lie down. I said, Brady, look, I don't think I can do this. And you very kindly stepped in and ran the show. During the show, I went to hospital, and they did some tests and etc. And then I went back on Sunday and had to have my gallbladder removed earlier on this week. So that was a bit of excitement for the week. So I'm now sans gallbladder. And so, yeah, so that's a bit of fun. It's a bit achy, I'll be honest, but there you go. That's what you get, I suppose. I don't know if there's anything I could have done to prevent it, but hey ho. Hospital for a few days, and I've been home for a few days trying to rest up and relax and trying to avoid that kind of thing. Now the issue is that I haven't actually thrown a disc since it happened. So I'm hoping that the kind of movement across here and like the twisty core movement, Brady, I showed you my bullet holes earlier on, and I won't show the camera now. That would be terrible. We're in an area that it twists and moves quite a lot in the action of throwing. So hopefully it's not too bad. And over the weeks it heals, because it's only a few weeks away before the whole world is going to be in Christchurch for the Garden City Open. So and I'm certainly going to be there, and I'm going to have to consider whether my position or my spot in MPO is perhaps the correct division to play in, or maybe I should play MA40. For a slightly shortened course. I suspect that might pay me well to do that, given what's happened. However, I'm going to get out tomorrow, do some putts, and see, just sort of 6-7 meters, nothing too strenuous, and just check that everything's still working okay. So apologies I couldn't be here last week, but that's the thing that's happened, and now we shall move on. Right. The rest of the show, we've got a bit of a wrap-up show for you today. We're going to go through some hot scores for the last week. Then we're going to be, me and Brady, are going to be talking through our highlights of 2022. It's been quite a year. Quite a lot of stuff has happened. And when we were talking about this before, actually, there's quite a lot of stuff which we went, wow, did that happen this year? That was crazy. So, lots of stuff has happened. We're going to be talking a little bit about it. We're also going to be looking forward to 2023. What are we most looking forward to in the disc golf world? And we'd love to know, what do you think? What have been your personal highlights of 2022? Pop them in the comments below, and we'd love to hear what you're most looking forward to about disc golf in 2023 as well. We'll talk you through what ours are. We're going to go through some upcoming events, talk you through the latest rankings following Discmas in the Park, which we'll go through the results of shortly, and also we're going to revise our tipping odds for nationals. So look out for that coming a little bit later on as well. So they've been updated, and there's been some movements, been some changes. Not everybody was where they were. Okay, so first up, let's go through hot scores. Brady, take us through the South.
Through the South, as always, starting in the apparently worst. Apologies. No, that's my dog. May. Anyway.
Should we go?
No, we're good. So, no, we can start with Invercargill. Invercargill, as always, Queen's Park. Melanie Muter takes the hot round this week with a -5. So, lady is up the top down south. Because apparently all the boys are playing next door. Golf Club Champs Course. Ethan Stout is 10 under par for the hot round this week. Up to Dunedin, we have Chingford Park, and Tom McKay shoots a -7 to take the hot round out this week. And locking out Dunedin, Tom McKay with another -7 at Brockville. So nice shooting, Tom, way to finish out the year. Over in the Gardens, Mikey Yu gets it done. 14 under par for the hot round to finish the year. Quiet out at Tucker's, so let's go to none other than Discmas in the Park in Jardine. Mikey Yu locks out Queenstown with a -5. Over the Crown Range, Wanaka, Ely Point, Luke Godfrey and Vincent shoot a -2 at Ely. In Lismore Park, Coburn Brown shoots a -9 for the hot round to finish the year. Up to the Garden City, which you said everyone is going to be in. Callie Thompson shoots a -15 for the hot round at Jelly. Brooker Ave has Jasper Vandermeer up the top with a -6. And at Queenstown Park, Gary O'Brien shoots a -6. Warren Park to finish out the Garden Cities shoots -10 at the Newley Park. Let's slide up to Nelson and Saxton Fields. Joel Way shoots even on the 9-hole intermediate course. And lastly, Taylor River Reserve in Blenheim. Andy Clune, good to have you back, brother. -7 to finish out the South Island. What do you got, Matt? How's North Island going?
So the North Island's looking like this. Young Ha takes out the hot round at Berrenpore in Wellington with -6 this week, so well done to him. Over at Hikoikoi, Ethan Stewart and Mark Bauman share the honours with 4 under par. Up at Harcourt Park, final week of the Wellington Spring League, Andy Davey takes it out with a -3. And up at Linklater, it's Sparkle with a 5 under par. Up at Maryland's, Ephraim Russell and Jason Mallion do everything they can to not beat each other with a 3 under par. And up at Spa Park in Topor, Steve Lawson hits 14 under par to take out the hot round this week. Up at McLaren's, Paris Holstead hits a very impressive 7 under par. And Chris Townsley and Tim Marshall tie for the lead in Henderson at 5 under par. So well done to all of those hot scores. Let's take a quick look at Discmas in the Park, which was played earlier on this week in Jardine Park down in Queenstown. Mikey Yu takes out top honours with a 2-shot lead over Andrew Popham, who we've seen come through on these kind of one-day event competitions. We've seen him play well in these one-day event competitions before, so well done to him. Peter McKay takes out 3rd place, and yeah, so some from a tight little field down in Queenstown there, run by Hemi. Mikey Yu puts in a impressive 10:30 rated first round, and then Andrew Popham fights back for spirited 10:13. So well done to him.
You might say he popped off in the second round?
You may well do, and we'll see what happens to the rankings a little bit later on when we see if he can pop into the top 20. Anyway, so that's the result from Discmas in the Park. It was the last sanctioned tournament event of the year in New Zealand. So that's the next one is Eggmonster in early January, which Brady, you're going to be helping out at. But as we look back through 2022, what are some of your highlights? Give us something that you kind of look back on over the last 12 months, and you kind of go, yeah, that's something that I really kind of value about this year. This is something that I really enjoyed doing. Or what have you got?
I mean, I guess one of the big things that I've started this year is I started private coaching. I did it a little bit last year, but really kind of sunk my teeth into it this year, to the fact of like going all the way to being on Maori television and coaching Petty Wipu, you know, and getting to see Jack Ryan's face as he's starstruck as we're there with Perry, who's this little tank of a man. But yeah, you know, like I've had some success in coaching. You know, like I've had a couple winners of events and divisions from people that I've coached and seen them improve. So yeah, I've definitely gotten some value out of adding value back into the disc golf community around me. How about you? What's one thing that you've enjoyed this year so far?
I was looking back on this, and I can't actually. It's one of the things that struck me as being quite odd that it happened this year, and that one of the highlights was having Paige Pierce on the show. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was, I think, episode 55. If you want to go through back through the history, when we had Paige Pierce on early January or late January last year, or this year, I should say. Seems like ages ago now that we had her on the show. I speak to her occasionally. We would ought to have her on again. I think would be good before the new season starts, especially with some of the movements that we're seeing and some of the returning players to FPO, notably Paige Shue, and also some of the movements of other players amongst teams. We've seen a lot of, and we'll probably continue to see that as well. So yeah, having Paige Pierce on the show earlier on in the year was a real highlight. If you do want to go and watch that interview again, then yeah, pop back to episode 55, I think it was. Be in our YouTube archive, and yeah, that's our interview from there. So that was a particular highlight for me, given. You know how much of a fan of Paige Pierce I am, and how much interest it brought to New Zealand disc golf as well.
No, I remember that. Well, we did it the morning before, I think, and then you know, like kind of
the
coverage.
The time difference didn't quite work well for live, and obviously she's based in Florida, so it's incredibly difficult to get the timing right.
Yeah. I was going to say, speaking of timing, and early on in the year, one of my other highlights was nationals. Actually, like you know, like that
seems like ages ago as well.
Yeah, part of me that forgot. Like we had the COVID scare, the Omicron wave was coming through. You know, but
it's going to destroy the world.
Yeah, we had 92 players come out. You know, like it was an 8-year journey of founding a club and starting a course and running an event, you know, to lead up to, you know, like what at the time was one of the largest events ever held. And, you know, like what's going to quite soon be eclipsed. But, you know, the fact that a nationals came to Wellington for the first time, it was held at Barrenport, and that I got the privilege to run it. That was pretty special to me.
Yeah, I bet. I played in that nationals. It was. I thought it was very well run, and I very much enjoyed playing in it as well. For me, I set a goal for myself in our Team Sweet Chain Discord chat, which you might have you would have seen, but others might not have or wouldn't have. And that was to get a personal best on all the local courses, which I did achieve this year when I got a 6 under par at Harcourt earlier on. In the spring league, so yes, particularly happy with that. Now I've set the bar to a level that I think is going to take way more than a year to clear in each one of the 3 courses, but we'll see. But yeah, that was a particular highlight. Is particularly that one at Harcourt Park, which was my highest rated round of the year, so at 969. Particularly happy with that. So.
Well, you know, I might happen to know a good private coach if you need some lessons to improve on those personal bests.
Indeed. I may have to give him a call. Do you know anyone? Yeah.
And I guess one of the kind of final highlights for me, I try to leave it off the show a little bit, but I know that it leaks out, is NZDG. So, you know, like I was elected chair this year. I've served on the board in the past. And so the fact that, you know, like the people around the country put their faith in me to like lead the organization. And it's quite an honor, you know, like I've been doing it in Wellington, and in Wellington, Matt, you serve on that board, and we have a great crew here in Wellington. So it's definitely like running that club is definitely a highlight. But yeah, also NZGG, it's just an honor to be a chair and to kind of, you know, like, yeah, lead this whole national body is pretty fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and something that you can be very proud of, and hopefully you can make an impact that can be felt, and that's always the difficulty with a role like that, right? Is kind of going, well, how does a chairman necessarily add value? And I think that's always going to be a difficult question to answer. But no, I've only seen good things from NZDG since the change in
Changing the guard.
Changing the guard. What's going on before was ridiculous, but now it's a lot better. Yeah. So something that I'm particularly proud of from a Sweet Chain perspective is the analytics team and the way that the analytics team have built the power rankings. Right. So the way that the power rankings now give us an up-to-date, and I know we could update the website a little bit more often, but how the power rankings are updated to show who's playing hot right now and who the best players in the country are right now, in a way that I don't think any other measure does. I mean, ratings are great, but we know what the problem with ratings are. And it means that we can look into things like tipping and kind of and have conversations who we think are going to play particularly well, and we'll get onto those a little bit later on. So I think the development of the analytics team and their ranking system to rank the New Zealand disc golf community has been particular highlight, and we've got an update to the rankings a little bit later on, actually, which we'll get to. So yeah.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of later on, how about what are you looking forward to? Like it's on our doorstep, barely a week away. Like 2023. Set 3 personal bests. Like you got a show, a company.
So I don't have a goal like that, so to speak, but there are a few things that I'm really looking forward to for next year, right? The first thing is the 3 majors, which have all kind of lined themselves up very nicely, one after another, to kind of just be ingested by the community and everybody can go crazy over them. I think it's going to be absolutely brilliant. I cannot wait for 3 absolute ding-dong battles between groups of players that, I mean, and let's not be silly about this, right? At these tournaments, probably more than this year and arguably previous years, I would argue the quality of field coming to, let's say, nationals next year will be higher than it's been in previous years. And it literally reads like anybody who plays disc golf in New Zealand is going to be at that tournament. And that's going to be great, eh? That's going to be absolutely fantastic. And we've got 3 of them. And most people will be at Garden City. I think nearly everybody's at Nationals. And most people will be at Topor as well. I think I just want to pull up the Southern Smash here. You can note that my registration has been changed. Thank you very much, Bray, to MP40. So I'm now playing with the big boys. That may be a regret following last week, earlier this week's incident, but we'll see. But I think we obviously knew that Avery Jenkins and no, sorry, I'm not for Nationals. For Nationals, this event, where is it here? Let's go to the players we've got coming to Nationals. I've noticed that Nate Perkins is coming along. Now, I think that's going to be a really, really interesting player who's going to come down, because Nate Perkins has been a little bit borderline in the Pro Tour in the States, not really featured much in the last few years, and hasn't really not. You see him more as a caddy and more as a commentator. But to see him come to the New Zealand and do his thing here, I think it's going to be great fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, you clearly have not been paying attention. Nate travels quite a while, and like maybe on the Pro Tour, on the biggest stage, he's not like number 1, but he's probably still top. Oh, I can't say it anymore. Like looking at that rating, the fact he's only rated 1,001 at the moment. But he's always competed well overseas, and like he's always done well in his local community. I know that he runs events down in Texas. He's very involved with, yeah. I was going to say, I wonder if you look at, he's always been right around that thousand mark. 1020 seemed to be the highest there.
Yeah. I think 1020 in 2019.
Look at his finishes for the year. Go up to like his, there we go.
Yeah, these are all the DGPT, the Pro Tour events.
Yep, 2030, 10th and Tinny. Yeah, overseas, like he plays well. So, like it's one of those, like in Sulla, 14th, he was 8th at Tinny. So, like he's still like a top 10, top 20 overseas, like, and that's, he brings a lot of kind of like value off the course as well. Like he's been around for a long time. He's taught coaches. He comes from a baseball background. He's still sponsored. There's a Zen 2, the Essence is coming out for Discmania. So yeah, it will be interesting to see, can Jacko, can Jay, can Levi, like, can they keep up with him? Will he stand out? Will he be up the top? Will he be in the mix? So yeah, but it's always good. Like I'm really excited, to be honest, not even for Nate. If you scroll down, go to the FPO division. Because Cassie Sweeten and Tosh are coming over from Australia. Cassie is a 5-time Australian championship. She was leading the Australian championship this year, but got beat out by her teammate at that stage, Jennifer Allen. So congratulations to Jen. But yeah, Cassie's coming over, so big shout out to her.
And she's just fine for dynamic discs as well.
Yes, that's what I'm really excited for. So her partner, Jazz, has been a Team Latitude 64 guy for a few years. So I know that she's familiar a bit with the Trilogy lineup. So yeah, I'm really interested to see, because this will be her first big event with her new bag. So I'd love to see how she's going to go in a new country, new bag. Should be fun.
Absolutely. But as I said, so that for me, that's going to be one of the biggest highlights of next year, is going to be 3 absolute ding-dong matchups between like the who's who. And then that's not to say, obviously, we've got the Garden City where we've got Simon Lizotte playing. I mean, and Avery Jenkins and Nate Perkins is playing that one as well. It's going to be incredible. So very much looking forward to those 3 events. They're something that's really, and they're going to be with us very, very soon, Brady. Very, very soon. The Garden City Open starts in a matter of weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. 6 weeks away. Magic.
I'm looking forward to Egg Monster. It's as much as I started coaching last year, the fact that again I can add value, and I'm helping out the Taranaki Club. Rug the Egg Monster here in 2 weeks, January 6th, 7th, and 8th, right around the corner. We're, our message board that, we're chatting about is all a buzz. We're starting to buy OB ropes and pegs, and do we have the tee pads laid out? And, have we communicated about who's on what layout? So yeah, again, being able to give back and add more value to those clubs, and again, play a great course. The fact that I can be assistant TD and help the boys out and get to play a big arm course. Yeah. That's going to be a blast. This summer is going to be jam packed with disc golf in the Sweet Chain neighborhood. But I mean, that finishes in March, April, that's 3, 4, there's still 8 other months. There must be something else you're looking forward to than just the majors.
Well, I am, because this year particularly, and it starts on the 1st of January for me, although it doesn't actually it does happen on the 1st of January. I've spoken about it before. I get to play Masters and I cannot wait. So from the 1st of January, I am eligible to play in MA40 or MP40 or any 40 protected division, mixed, obviously. So very much looking forward to it. I don't turn 40 until way later on in the year. So all of you 40 plussers who say, look at this young gun coming into our division, well, screw you. I'm looking forward to playing. I have to be honest. I do have fun with with the guys who do already compete in MA40, and there's a guy at the local Wellington club here who's also eligible on the 1st of January for Masters. So looking forward to both joining the Masters division at the same time, which is going to be
Who's
quite
that?
That's Phil McLeod. So yeah, he
okay.
as well. So he's we're both very much looking forward to it. And so yeah, that for me, that's a thing that's going to go on for many years probably. But I'm looking forward to it mostly from next year. Is turning up and playing in MP and MA40 divisions. It's going to be good fun. I won't have to keep up with. I won't have to try and pretend that I can compete with Levi and Jay and Joe and all that lot.
Well, I mean, you can always caddy for them.
Indeed, I'll be done by lunchtime. So it'll be great.
You won't need a nap, like playing in the Masters division.
I will probably need a nap. You're right. Yes. You're right. Outrageous. Right. What else you got?
For me, I'm looking forward to finishing what I started. The next thing I'm probably looking forward to is more NZDG stuff. So, like we hit the ground running, holding the board together, getting stuff done, that we're really looking to plant some seeds. And so a lot of us on the board, are looking forward to setting up good foundations to, we're getting ready we're looking past the majors, like we want to take some more ownership this year in the majors, but also like looking to the future, like of how we can support and add more value. The idea that whether people know it or not, we've given away $3,000 this year worth of travel grants to members around the country to travel up and down the country to get to tournaments, including the majors next year. So keep an eye out for that. Andrew Communications, another Sweet Chain member, shout out to him. He's been doing great jobs when it comes to the Instagram account and the newsletter.
In night and day.
Yeah. So that communication is great. So being able to finish that, as much as like May's just around the corner, that's kind of the end of our like fiscal year. May, June is when NZDG kind of like wraps up and changes the guard. So like looking forward to finish strong, like and make it through the majors and play, and then make it through the majors as chair. It's going to be a good run. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, good stuff.
Anything else? You got some play, you got some tournaments to look forward to. What else do you got?
I've been through the tournaments I'm looking forward to. I guess the final thing is the way in which this show is going to slightly change over the next year or so, because we are changing and evolving. I would say the way in which we produce this show. We're always trying to make it a little bit better, and the last few weeks have been tricky, but we are changing a few things about the way in which the show is produced and the way in which the show is consumed. So the eagle-eyed amongst you, and I can see there's maybe a couple of people at the moment, will notice that we're currently live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. So Twitch is a platform which, if you haven't seen before, is most commonly used for video game broadcasting, but it was also used for podcasts and people chatting, etc. And it's a platform that we're going to be moving towards next year. So we're live on Twitch now. We're going to be live from our episode 98. So this is the first episode back after Christmas, right? So episode 98 will be on the 5th of January, which will be our preview to the Egg Monster. We will be live on YouTube and Twitch. Okay, so if you're watching this through Facebook, then you need to get yourself a link. And we'll post up links on the day of the on the day of the thing. We'll post up a link on our Facebook page shortly before it's due to start. But we will no longer be broadcasting live on Facebook. We will be broadcasting live purely on YouTube and Twitch. So I would say head over to both of those channels. Please give us a like, a subscribe, a follow. Everything, it's all free to do. Just click through the hearts and whatever, and it helps out the channel immensely if you could do that. You still got all these same commenting kind of ideas, But the way in which we're looking to expand is that Twitch enables us to offer a service to people who might want a little bit more from their kind of disc golf podcast. And so we'll be doing some subscriber bonus segments. We'll be doing some stuff which is more exclusive and which is only available at certain times. And those platforms allow for that far better than Facebook does. So if you're watching this on Facebook, it's been great. But we're moving away from Facebook. We will be still on Facebook as a Sweet Chain Music. We'll still have a page there, and we'll be advertising, providing links to our YouTube and to our Twitch channels. But we won't be broadcasting live on Facebook from next episode, which is episode 98, which will start on the 5th. So you'll have to join us on our YouTube channel. So head over to our YouTube channel. You'll find it on Sweet Chain Music, and we'll give you all the links to this over Christmas. We'll provide you with everything that you need to know in order to make sure you get your fill. There's going to be some exciting stuff that we get to do over the course of the next few months, especially with the lead up to Nationals and the Garden City Open, etc. We're hoping to do some exclusive interviews over that time with certain disc golfers who are visiting the country. So make sure that you're following all the requisite channels in order to consume that. So yeah, that's I think what I'm kind of looking forward to. It's going to be a slightly different, slightly new direction for us, but one that I think is going to be for the benefit of all the viewers.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have to agree. I'm definitely looking forward to the future of Sweet Chain and Sweet Chain Live. You and I discussed a little bit previously over the past couple of weeks about different avenues, and like Twitch being one of them. Like YouTube's a big thing for me. Like that we'll be utilizing that platform more. Like with the idea of like recaps and highlights, or like, do you just want to see? Man, I can't remember what Simon Feasy's 3 discs were. Like, well, what if we had a 3-minute clip of Sweet Chain Safari where Simon talks about that? Or, like with Drew Gibson was in town, like we've interviewed Scott Stokely and Paige Pierce a couple times, like what if we had like nice little like sound bites and like little video clips that, we can highlight from those. So yeah, definitely looking forward to branching out into better ways to connect with the community and provide value. And like when it comes to educating, to quips, to just laughs. You and I have had laughs, like while you weren't, I find it funny while you aren't on the show. Here I am chatting with 2 dads, having dad chat on the show, like, which was just great, and we have some laughs, some one-liners, no good dad jokes. Apparently we had to wait for Andrew Popham to come back on the show and feature before we can drop a little humor back in. But yeah, like definitely looking forward to the future of this show and everything that comes from it and with it.
Excellent. So we'll be sharing all the links and everything to both of those channels coming up. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Let's have a look at some upcoming events. We've got the latest calendar. We've got a few new entrants, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you fully updated it with Egg Monster, with Makaripi?
Yes, I have. So where is it? It's here. And that's there. So we've got Egg Monster, which is open now. Then the Roxburgh Open is on the 14th of January. The week after that is Makaripi and Wellington Centurion. We can't forget Wellington Centurion. That's going to be quite a battle, but yes, we shall have fun there. Heislander in Dunedin on the 28th of January is looking to wrap up their registration so that they can get all sorted down there. They do a great job down in Dunedin at Heislander. I went last year. It was absolutely fantastic. And then the big 3, which we've spoken about before. And then Brook Park Brave, which on the 1st of January, I don't know when that is, but it's fairly early.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that a British holiday or month?
You can register for Brook Park Brave. which is taking place on the 22nd to the 24th of April. So head over to Disc Golf Scenes, I think, where I saw that. So head over there if you want to get involved with that. Now, power rankings. These are now up to date. So following Discmas in the Park, Stephanie Stridham is up 2 spots to 14th in the ladies division. Otherwise, it's unchanged. And over in the men's division, Mikey Yu's win there puts him 2 spots above Jasper van der Meer and Joseph Berry. And Andrew Popham finds himself in 16th place. And there's a few other moves up. Jake Brennan finds himself in the top 20 as well. How has that changed tipping for nationals, Brady? Last time we did tipping for nationals was on the 3rd of November. Can you remember who was our favourite back then?
I think it was Levi, wasn't it?
It wasn't. It was Jacko. So, but the odds on Jackson have shortened from 4.5. They're now at 2.7. The odds for Levi have also shortened down to 3.4. Jaden's come down to 6.2 from 8. Simon Feasy's dropped slightly. Conor McKinstry has come in from 33 to 1 to 10 to 1. So that might be where your smart money is following his performance at the Fling. Ryan Cambridge and Joseph Berry have drifted somewhat. And there's been no change in the ladies division, largely because Michelle Simpson is now back in the country, having gone on a super trek, and Liana hasn't competed since. So yeah, we'll update these more frequently as we get closer to nationals, which is first weekend of March, and there's plenty of tournaments in January, which will affect the odds on everybody here. So let us know, who do you think is going to win nationals? What have been your highlights from this year and going into next year? Brady, any final thoughts for today?
I was going to say, I just want to thank all the viewers. It's been a great 2022. I'm looking forward to you guys joining us again in 2023. More giveaways, more shows, more interviews. It's going to be a blast. Thank you so much for joining the ride, and we hope you continue as we go into the new year. Absolutely.
We're going to kick off the new year with a giveaway on the 5th of January. So make sure that you tune into that on YouTube and on Twitch. And stay in touch with all of that's happening in New Zealand disc golf. But from me and from Brady, a very Merry Christmas to you and your family. Have a absolutely fantastic couple of weeks. Get some rest, play some disc golf, and wherever you're playing disc golf, take it easy, play well, get some birdies, maybe some turkeys, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. Cheers.